In behavioral or situational interviews, the whole idea is to get a feel how you might handle a particular situation, maybe a hypothetical one, but usually they want to ask about something that you've really done in the past. And if anything, the default on that is you want to show something you've done specifically in the past and really connect it to how you can help the new organization in the future. And when they ask you these questions, these behaviors or situations, that's a good clue to show what's really important to that organization. So if they ask you questions about teamwork or talking about a time when you had to work with maybe a difficult team or something, or a difficult customer, or any of those types of things, that shows that, hey, they're interested in teams, or versus not being as interested in teams. These questions might start off with things like, give me an example of a time when you did whatever, or tell me about a time when you did whatever. And those are very common ways to get started. So when we get to the actual interview question section, you'll see lots of questions around behavioral and situational interviews. And where people fail with these type of questions, just in general, is they get too generic. They're not specific enough in their answer. They might say, tell me about a time when you had to work with a difficult customer. And their answer is more like, I like people, or I like working with customers, or I'm great. Or they start talking about things like hypothetical stuff. Well, if I ever had a difficult customer, I would probably do this. And that's not real specific. I know when I'm interviewing people, I really try to narrow them down and say, that's nice, but tell me specifically, tell me about a particular customer situation in that particular example. So you want to come armed with, your stories and your situations and some of those behavioral things that are really oriented around the job position you're looking at, or around that industry or type of thing. So like if you were in sales, for example, well, overcoming objections is a key part of sales. So you might have a question along the lines of, tell me about a time when you had a real difficult question or a difficult objection. What was it and how did you overcome it? Would be a specific example you'd want to work at. So in your own industry, think about your particular situation. So in a nutshell, how you can win at these behavioral and situational interviews, where it might be a whole bunch of these types of things rolled out as far as these different situations, is be specific. Once again, be detailed but yet concise. You don't want long-winded stories. You want to be detailed, specific, but concise. You want to tell stories that show you at your best in real life situations. You're going to learn about the STAR and CAR method, and these are really designed for these behavioral and situational interviews. So look at those lessons again, or look at those lessons coming up on STAR and CAR and how to answer these. And the key is to prepare your stories ahead of time, and that you've got a list of types of things or examples that you can share with these different types of questions around that, specific to the job you're looking for and maybe the industry you're in. You might not be able to cover every single one. You don't have to. You can draw from all these different types of things by being prepared ahead of time, as opposed to just really struggling to think of a good example. You might have some good ones already prepared, and that's the last key to this section. So behavioral and situational interviews, more popular than ever, and the whole idea for the company, they want to see how you react in a specific situation that's important to them.